This right here is the source of Britain's longest river, the River Severn.
This little stream will soon become something far greater. High in the Cambrian mountains of mid-Wales, around 2,000 feet above sea level, the River Severn begins its journey. Quiet, almost unnoticeable at first. Just another stream like thousands of others. Emerging from the peat bog that soaks up the rainwater. Water trickles from the bog to form a small brook. Over 220 miles, winding through mid-Wales, crossing the border into England, and winding its way through the countryside, growing as it goes, fed by rainfall and joined by rivers along the way. It's doing what rivers do best, finding the path of least resistance to the sea. Before I could start my adventure, bikepacking Britain's longest river, I'd first need to find the source of the River Severn, and that meant climbing into the evening sun. I had planned to start tomorrow, but I wanted to get as close as possible tonight, and that meant it wouldn't be just pedaling I would be doing this evening. I'd have to hike to find somewhere to pitch the tent tonight. At just under 2,000 feet, I found the perfect spot, looking over the endless views with the sun setting and the source of the River Severn just a little further in the distance.
Source of the River Severn, just over my shoulder. Somewhere.
I had gone to bed in this magical place, but woken up in a more familiar Wales this morning. But the source of Britain's longest river was just a stone's throw away from where I had slept. Finding it in a whiteout and heavy rainfall though, definitely made it harder to follow these little tracks. But then, out of the fog, a wooden marker for the start of the River Severn, surrounded by thick fog and puddles, marked the start of not only my journey, but the River Severn's journey. This area gets a lot of rain. The average rainfall here is nearly 3 times the UK average. The Severn starts its life in peat bog, a sponge-like patch of ground that soaks up all that rain. From 2,000 feet, the river starts making its journey as a narrow brook, a young River Severn moving fast, energetic, and gathering pace, and carving a narrow valley.
Probably the only time I will drink the River Severn. Lovely. Can you tell I'm in Wales? I am absolutely filthy already, only a couple miles into the ride. But the great thing is, when doing a source to sea, it's all downhill. Pretty much anyway. At least this first 5 miles, I pretty much dropped from the height of like 2,000 feet to, I don't know what it is, but it's a lot less than 2,000 feet. It's beautiful.
It doesn't take long for this river to drop most of its elevation. After just 12 miles, the young river settles at around just 500 feet above sea level, after descending 1,500 feet from the source, where it slows down and will take over 200 miles to drop the last 500.
All downhill, he says. There's at least a few climbs along the way, but I think these 3 that I'm just going over are pretty much the steepest of the lot, apart from obviously getting to the source. I'm hoping it's going to dry out a bit as well. The rain is sort of meant to be stopping now, and I'm kind of heading away from that rain cloud, but it's all very gloomy, misty, and misty rain too. And we're gonna head towards Newtown and have breakfast there. But first, a couple of little climbs.
And while I made my way over the couple of bumps along the river, it got me thinking about the long history tied to the Severn. The Romans, the Anglo-Saxons, Viking invaders, and Norman conquerors all fought to control this river at one time or another. The river's always been more than just water flowing to the sea. It's been a boundary, a lifeline, a battleground. But now it inspires people's dreams.
My name's Dylan Glynn. I make furniture.
Along the River Severn, more importantly.
I am on the Havren in Caersus. Havren is the Severn, River Severn. I've been here for 23, 24 years, but here making about 3 years now. I specialise in utilising local timber.
That's lovely.
So this is ash, and this is from an ash tree that fell about 2 miles up the road. And this is my first go at doing a Welsh stick chair, which is our vernacular chair. Like in England, you got the Windsor chair, and here in Cymru is Wales, we have our what's called the Welsh stick chair. So there were humble chairs, fireside with arms, and as the name says, they're sticks, but utilising wherever the chair was made. They're slightly varied region on region, and they use different whatever timber was available really. So it was an everyman's chair, but it was like it's a throne, you know. I'm just gonna put what's called a comb on the top there. Finish that off, a little bit of detailing, and that's that chair done. So I specialise in steam bending timber, using steam to heat it up for about 40 minutes, and then put it in a jig, and you can bend it.
I just say I love the smell of it in here. it's reminding me of being in school.
Really?
DT woodwork.
I'm so used to it.
You don't even smell it anymore.
I can't smell it anymore. No, not really.
That's just what it's like. All that. Yeah. Oh, it's lush.
That's a writing chair, which initially was inspired by my son, who wanted a chair to sit at whilst he was writing. I trained as a designer, lived and worked away in England, and then had the opportunity to come back here, and I've done everything really. I've done site carpentry, just to earn a living when the kids were little.
Yeah.
Bit of forestry, and worked with designers and makers, and also worked with the Welsh Government on value adding of Welsh timber. So my whole ethos is about making high value, hopefully interesting pieces of furniture, utilising the timber from our regional woodlands, from well managed woodlands. So it all goes back into the forest and being sustainable. We're down to averaging 14% woodland coverage. Here in Cumbria, England's a bit less, it's about 12%. Scotland's a bit more, it's about 15, I think. That was the averages I knew about a couple of years ago. And the average in Europe is 37-38%.
We're well behind
to
then.
give you, so because of the Industrial Revolution and needing the timber initially for smelting of iron and then for pit props and all that kind of stuff, and also boat building, you know, this island, this amazing island of ours, was very quickly and rapidly depleted of our woodland stock, our timber, the knock-on effects of that are nature and biodiversity. So this is what I'm doing in my lifetime is trying to do that good work of doing craft, design and make for a contemporary market, but looking back into our local environment and tapping into woodlands and people who are working within the woodland industry to improve it and do the good stuff.
I've done a good 27 miles, and the next place I'm going to be going through is Welshpool, just coming through Newtown. I'm going to be heading along the canal for a bit, but before I do that, it's good old British picnic time. And good news, the rain is slowly disappearing. Happy days. So I'm starting to dry out a bit. Jacket is now off. Happy days. I don't exactly know where I want to get to today, but this route is about 200 miles, and wow, let's be honest, it's pretty much downhill as I'm following the flow of the river. It's in a downhill direction at least. There's a few lumps and bumps, but it is primarily downhill. So I'm thinking it would be nice to try and get maybe to Shrewsbury, maybe a bit past there. I'm not 100% sure exactly where I'll get to, but I think it would be nice to get a little bit further than there. But yeah, let's just eat some Scotch eggs, hit some nice flattish canals. I don't think I've ever done a route where my downhill is significantly more than my uphill, but this route, according to Komoot at least, it's something like 8,000 feet downhill and about 5,000 up. That means I'm winning.
Leaving Newtown, I'd be following the Montgomery Canal, once a key route for moving goods like limestone, coal and timber. Today, it's no longer used for that, but running right alongside the River Severn meant it would give me some shelter from the incoming rain clouds that seemed set on following me today.
It's raining again. Back in the rain. At least it's warm rain this time. It's not cold. It's the one good thing about summer in the UK. The rain. It's warm and not cold. Back to hiding, this time under a bridge. It says light rain on my weather app. I think it's lying to me again. I think I'm just going to have to go for it though, because it's going to stay like this for about an hour here. But as I go that way, I'm kind of going away from this big rain cloud. So I might just have to get wet once more today. Bit annoying, because just literally 2 seconds ago, before I got to Welsh Pool, beautiful sunshine. I was even starting to think I might need to put some sun cream on. Maybe not.
The heavens had well and truly opened. But living this way of life, you've got to remember the saying, there's only so wet you can get. Still, I thought I'd try and outrun it. I followed the canal a little longer before heading off-road, tracing the winding river as it made its way towards the Wales-England border. It must have been a Welsh goodbye, because as soon as I reached the border, the rain stopped.
Wow, I'm back in England now, and at least for now, I'm back to drying off. We've escaped the rain. I've got about 10 miles to get to Shrewsbury, so should definitely make that. I've done about 55 miles as well today, so once I get there, 65, and then I'll be looking to maybe do another, I don't know, 20 or so to get out of there, and well, we'll see. It's already about 3 p.m, so still got loads of daylight and everything, but, well, I say daylight. Where's the sun?
As I got closer to Shrewsbury, the river tightened into a loop that almost wraps around the town. That bend made the town easier to defend through the ages, the river acting like a natural barrier to keep watch over this important spot. Shrewsbury Castle was built by Roger de Montgomery soon after the Norman conquest, around 1067. The castle still stands today, overlooking the river bend that once played a key role in protecting the town.
Alright, 65 miles done, just got to Shrewsbury. You know what's crazy? Literally 65 miles ago, this river was a tiny little stream coming down a big hill. And now it's a fully grown river with a lot of water in it. Mad really, isn't it? You know what? I think while that sun, wherever it is, it's hiding now, is just kind of shining, I'm going to try and dry my tent a little bit, just so it makes it a little easier later on. Very wet. Look at it, soaking. Good news is tents dry really fast, especially if I can hang it up somewhere.
With the sun kind of shining, it didn't take long to get the tent dry and to start making my way further downstream to Wroxeter. Wroxeter was once one of the biggest Roman cities in Britain. The River Severn was a lifeline for Wroxeter. It was a key transport route moving supplies, troops and goods to and from the city. The river's location made Wroxeter a vital hub, connecting it to other towns and military sites across Roman Britain. But just about 10 miles downstream, at Ironbridge, there was another story, one that goes way back to the Ice Age. Before the glaciers advanced, the River Severn actually flowed northwards towards the Irish Sea. When ice sheets moved in, they blocked that route, forcing the river to carve out a new path southwards. That's how it's ended up winding its way towards the Bristol Channel instead, shaping the landscape and valleys that would later become home to towns, industry and history along its banks.
Just got to Ironbridge, 81 miles done. I'm kind of in two minds to carry on, which is like a nice cycle path down like an old railway line, or head to where I camped on the marches, because I'm just not sure there's going to be anywhere to camp. It's only 6:30, so I've still got a couple of hours until it gets dark. Just don't want to just want to make sure I can find somewhere, but normally these railway lines are kind of hard to camp by, because although there looks like there's quite a lot of trees down there, normally they're on big banks, so there's no really flat to camp. Let's just keep going. We've done 81 miles. Might hit the 100, potentially hit the 100-mile mark tonight, especially if I can't find anywhere to camp. Let's go.
I'd followed the river almost halfway by this point, and with the evening drawing in, I picked up an old railway line that ran alongside the River Severn. But just as I expected, finding somewhere to camp was proving harder than I had hoped.
Done just over 90 miles. I think it was like 92 miles. I I think tonight I'm going to do some bird watching, because I found a little place and it's quiet, it's peaceful, and it's even got cushions. So I think I'm just gonna sit around and definitely watch the birds all night. Definitely not sleep in here, just enjoy the birds. They're over there now. See them? So I've got about 105 miles left to go. So tomorrow I should get pretty damn close, if not all the way. We'll see. Tomorrow's supposedly not going to rain, so that's good. It's really warm and quite humid now. But yeah, solid day. Beautiful really, and we'll continue following Britain's longest river as soon as the sun rises tomorrow, which is around 5:30, 5 o'clock, something like that. We'll get out and get up early and on the road. So, along that old like railway line, and it was really long gravel. It was quite nice, but yeah, just nowhere to camp. So I think this will do. Right, as always though, I'll see you bright and early in the morning for day 2 of bikepacking Britain's longest river. Oh, the birds have gone again. I should probably shut up. Well, good morning. What an absolutely beautiful night. It was so quiet, so calm. And it's currently 5:30 in the morning. Really comfortable. Managed to make a little bed with the little benches in there. Perfect night's sleep. And today I've woken up and it's a lot more, well, it's a lot nicer this morning. It's a few grey clouds in the sky, but nothing like yesterday. We're not waking up in a cloud. It's nice and warm. Perfect. I've got 105 miles to do. I'm not sure we're going to do all of them, but we might, because, you know, it's fairly flat. And I do have to go through a few busier places today, like Worcester and Gloucester. But apart from that, it should be nice. Let's go see what the River Severn has in store for us today. Let's go.
After an absolutely incredible and peaceful night's sleep, waking up to start following the River Severn this morning, the morning was still, with not so much of a breeze. River Severn, too powerful for man to control below this bridge in winter, it can get so full that it floods the whole of the bottom of the valley. Further downstream, in Boodley, they know this all too well. The town has been hit by floods so often that they installed special barriers designed to hold back the river when it rises.
I've sat down too long now. I feel lazy. My legs are achy a bit today, but look at it. It's absolutely beautiful out here today. We're not dealing with misty rain, and got a little bit of a tailwind as well, which is nice. I've got about 20 miles to get to Worcester, so that's the next goal. Again, it's pretty flat, so there's a couple little climbs this morning, but nothing we can't manage. But yeah, legs are definitely starting to feel it a bit today. Problem is when everything is flat, you don't get much coasting, so everything is pedaling. There's no downhills to enjoy. It's just pedal, pedal, pedal. But at least it's like this today. Going that way to Worcester.
Leaving Bewdley, I'd follow the Severn closely, maybe a little too close, as I found myself, for the first time, having to push my way through the overgrown banks. So overgrown, I couldn't even see where the river had gone.
Don't mind if I do. Yum, 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 yum.
By the time I reached Worcester, the Severn felt almost unnoticed, flowing under the old viaduct and through the middle of the city. It's just there. People walk past it, drive over it, maybe glance at it now and then. But it's been here forever, shaping the city. Just yesterday, it was a mere stream carving its way down the Welsh mountains. Today, it slowly flows through the heart of Worcester.
Right, just come through Worcester. I swear I've never been to Worcester before. It seemed quite nice as well, at least along the river, quite pleasant. It's currently about 11 AM, so it's not even midday yet, and all I've got to do to get to the finish of this long river is the magic 69 miles. I have to actually ride along the river a bit more, but it's all like footpaths and it just gets a bit like how it was back there. So I'll do it occasionally when the roads are really bad, but for now it's just I'm just trying to find bridleways and stuff that are fairly close, following the rough direction of the river. But next place in about 15 miles is Tewkesbury, and then on to Gloucester. I did see a sign that said Gloucester was about 25 miles, but I think that's the more direct approach for cars. So let's keep pedaling these lovely flat miles and get to Tewkesbury. Feeling quite good. Still got a bit of a tailwind as well, so Easy, easy.
With only 69 miles of the Severn left to go, the river had now dropped almost as low as it would, from about 2,000 feet at its source to around 40 feet above sea level now. The young River Severn I had met at the source felt older now, wider, slower, and while I'd be continuing right beside it, the Malvern Hills would be towering in the distance. I wouldn't need to overcome much more climbing, just the odd, bumpy flat field.
Ow. Whoa.
Tewkesbury, a small town with big history. It sits where the River Avon joins the Severn and where one of the bloodiest battles in English history took place. The Battle of Tewkesbury in 1471, during the Wars of the Roses, a brutal civil war between two rival branches of the royal family, the House of Lancaster and the House of York. The Yorkists won, dealing a massive blow to the Lancasterians. Today, it's half-timbered buildings, narrow streets, and a river nearing the end of its journey to the sea.
Oh my god, it's getting hot now. Very, very hot. Arrived at Tewkesbury though. Got about 10 miles to get to Gloucester, and I think overall probably 50 miles I think to go. It's currently 2 p.m. I think I'm probably going to try and finish it today, because down that river, like I found out when I was riding the BMX, there isn't really that many places to camp, although I do have one emergency place I can sort of stay the night, possibly at that church again if I need to, but I've got so many hours left of daylight and only 50 miles. They're all very flat, of course, but right now I'm just cooling off some juice and some smoothie things. I filled the bottles up, and yeah, it's just getting hot. Literally 10 minutes ago though, it started raining. I thought, oh no, it's gonna absolutely chug it down. I'm gonna get soaking wet again. And then literally a minute later, sunshine, I'm sweating. I don't know, what is this summer? 54 miles, so yeah, another 50 to go. Yeah, nice little 105 mile day. Nice, that'd be good. That's the goal. Okay, that is the goal. We're going to try and get to the end of the river. But for now, I'm going to try and cool off. Good day to yourself. More obstacles in my way. I reckon you go that. Oh, spider webs. and come with me. Ow, prickly.
Arriving in Gloucester meant one thing. I was very close to the end of the Severn. Ever closer to where this epic river meets the Bristol Channel. But to get there, I'd have one more canal to follow, the Gloucester and Sharpness Canal. It's along this canal that you really see just how powerful this once small stream has become. The Purton ship's graveyard is a haunting reminder of the Severn's force. Dozens of old vessels deliberately beached here to reinforce the riverbank, their rusting hulls slowly sinking into the mud, now part of the landscape shaped by the river they once served. Because you see, this isn't just any river. The Severn dictates everything here. With its massive tidal range, you can't just leave the canal and enter the river unless the Severn says so. It decides when you can pass and when you will wait. I had made it to the end of this mighty river at just the right time, the sun setting over Wales. And after all the miles we had both travelled, I couldn't think of a more fitting way to toast the journey of Britain's longest river than with some water from the very source of the River Severn.
Cheers.
Like the river runs, you will become time.